What art implies or means in our daily expressions, in our daily understanding of our environment is complex. The art of reasoning in a time when there is so much chaos is as confusing as it is engaging. I will make this broadcast a little bit personal because that will help me to explain what I'm trying to say with more lucidity. That will help the listener, yourself, if you're interested, to kind of have your own viewpoint that you can also use to do your work or enhance your thoughts on different types of issues, political, economic, social, or otherwise, that you may want to focus on in your work. For now, there's a kind of social and sort of global issues surrounding how we relate to each other, the differences between the rich and the poor, the sick and the well. For some people, they're in good health, but they behave like sick, crazy people. Now, I'm not pointing hands at anybody in particular, but today a lot of things have become so broken and so stretched that the value of life is becoming low almost on a daily basis. If you look at how we live today, it's really shameful that after more than 2,000 years of at least recorded history that we know, it's more, but the ones that I know about, that people still struggling with the day-to-day expressions and diversions that take place. Means that you get somebody qualified or not and is working many parts of the world, and life is like not getting easier, and that's not a good thing, because our collective intelligence, exposure to new things, technology, and the rest of it should actually make it much easier and feasible for somebody to live a fairly decent life. It should be like that, because what is the point of all this advancement in technology and in manufacturing, production, and everything that goes with it? In today's world, AI, automation, and all that, what is the point of it? That the life of the average person seems to be such a struggle. It shouldn't be like there's something wrong with the art, if I can choose the word. There's something very bad about that. People should not be living from hand to mouth. This is not a good thing. It doesn't matter whether the person is intelligent or not. It's not a good thing that modern man, the modern person, is struggling to get by. I say this because when things are going well, the arts are supposed to be going well also. But art of today is an art of indulgence. It's like we become so apathetic, so removed, aloof, and so distant from the state of our age today. And I am not blaming the artist as such, but I am holding him responsible for not being able to articulate, not to change, but articulate our present moments. There's this kind of distance from events that had become common. And when you look at the current contemporary art forms, you see that people are much more interested in their own, as they will call it today, legacies. People are looking at, what am I going to leave for my children when I'm no longer around? And it may seem like a noble thought, but I think it is a very stupid, mindless way to look at life today. I stand to be corrected, but why are you so interested in the legacy of children that you may not even have now? And you don't even know, if you have them now, whether they are even going to live beyond a certain age. You don't know. So why are legacies so important? When the only memory or the only thing you are in this life is just a story. Somebody telling you a story. That's all you are. Your actual life itself doesn't really mean that much, except there's a story behind it. So legacies are what? That you're going to leave money for them so that they can enjoy their lives, so that they do not suffer. I mean, this is quite a strange development in modern thinking, that instead of building for the moment, for people to actually experience life in the full, people are now all going for legacies. They want storage of monies to be left for their offspring so that they will not suffer. This is crazy. Suffering, I don't know why people think suffering is a bad thing. Suffering is what makes people become better selves. Suffering, we're not saying torturing, I'm saying suffering is one of the hit stones, one of the things that really mold somebody's character. And don't forget that suffering is a choice. Suffering is not like something you're born to be or you're born to suffer. No. Suffering is a choice in the sense that you can remove yourself from it just by changing your thinking. What you can't change is pain. Pain is direct and it is brutal because it just hits you and deals with you. And you have to cry about it, fix it, or die trying. One of those. But when you're suffering, there's a choice pattern in it. You're saying, because this happened to me, I have to go through these visceral, I have to go through this anointment of regret and imagined pain, and other people have to see me suffer something like that. It's always a choice. You don't have to suffer, because it's when you keep a memory too long that it becomes a pattern and a habit. So you say you're suffering. You don't have to suffer. What you have to do is remove pain. And the removal of pain, once the pain has gone, every other thing you're doing is just choice. You want to suffer because it brings you a kind of joy. That's a narcissism in it. I'm not saying that it's an easy thing to come back, but it is a choice at the end of the day. You can work that thing out of your system. So, again, I deviated a bit, but in looking at the question of legacy and the artist, what the artist should be trying to do is build for the moment. Now, if that lives beyond your present moment, then you're one of the lucky ones. People would resonate with the work. But you shouldn't be thinking of things in terms of legacy. Because trust me, once you're gone, once you're dead, your relevance is not that important anymore. What becomes important is what people remember you by. That's all. The legacies of leaving cash, money, and all that is very personal. It doesn't really mean that much. And so, artists should forget about this legacy stuff. Forget about who will remember you. Because if you're not there to see the remembrance, then it's pointless. Because your offsprings, whoever remembers you, is not you. And if you're not there, like a birthday celebration, if you're not there to celebrate it, then it is not your birthday. Nobody cares about it. The only person who really cares should be you. So focus on creating work that hopefully has an importance today, so that people can celebrate, rejoice, empath with you while you're still alive. If you have money to spend, if you're one of the lucky ones who has a lot of money, spend it. Give it to some other poorer artists so that they can also express themselves. Share what you have while you're alive. That's your greatest legacy. Do not think that by leaving some pot of money for somebody, that will somehow protect them from the vigors, the horrors, the tragedies, the misery, and all the other things that must befall a human being, whether they like it or not. Don't do that. Too many people have done it, and they found later on that the people who have been given the so-called legacy did not understand what it meant, and hence basically trashed it to the point where everything becomes meaningless. So by all means, save your money for whoever you want to give the money to, but don't buy into this legacy thing. Yes, it is all about history, but history is nothing if the human being who is supposed to experience it is dead. Ciao for now.